yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Earlier today, we released a video about Migori Governor Okoth Obado. In case you missed the video, it's one of our latest in this YouTube channel. A wonderful video. So in this video right now, I want us to analyze and dissect Raila Amolo Odinga post about some few hours ago. Raila today has shared some photos of himself, Fred Matiangi, Governor James Ongwae of Kisii, and other Kisii leaders. That's what I want us to dissect in this video right now. This is what Raila posted today. Discussed matters of national interest and development of the Nyanza region at a working lunch hosted by leaders from the Gusii community, led by Interior Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiangi and Governor James Ongwae. That's Raila's Facebook post today. And then you can see us shared some photos. And from those photos, you can see clearly Fred Matiangi, Ongwae, Janet Ongera, Junet Mohammed, Jimmy Agwenyi, and former Kisii Senator Chris Obure, and also Timothy Bosire. Those are the photos he has shared. So folks, you know, when such photos are shared, or when a politician makes a post and then shares some photos, then there is a political message being passed across. They are not just photos or just posts. There is a political message being passed across. And I've tried to analyze and dissect the message, or rather, the message behind that post. And I've settled on 4 messages or 4 reasons as to why Raila Amolo Odinga shared that post and those photos. The first reason, I strongly believe that top Gusii community leaders have buried the hatchet and are now working together. You know, this meeting was hosted by these leaders, not by Raila Amolo Odinga. So these top Gusii leaders might have planned a meeting and then they invited Raila Amolo Odinga. You know, we have still not forgotten about Bonchari By-election. In the just concluded Bonchari By-election, there were a lot of disagreements that arose out of that by-election. In fact, Gusii leaders, led by none other than the governor, James Ongwae, they really crowd foul of how Matiangi and his boys, the police, really mistreated them there. In fact, James Ongwae's home was raided by police in Kisii. And most of ODM leaders who are in that county, most of them were blocked from even accessing the polling booth, or rather the polling stations on that day. And then after that, ODM party led by their Secretary General Edwin Sifuna and even some ODM Gusii leaders called upon Fred Matiangi to be fired if he could not step aside. So this meeting, one of its purpose maybe was for these leaders to come together and bury the hatchet so that they can once again work together. That might be a message being sent by this post by Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. And then secondly, if you see Raila taking a photo with Fred Matiangi, you know Fred Matiangi is one of the deep states, one of the instruments of the deep state. This also shows clearly that Raila Amolo Odinga plans on working with Fred Matiangi going towards 2022. That's a message that is being sent clearly looking at these photos. Raila is just trying to tell his supporters that the disagreements that arose out of the Bonchari by-election, because we know that the person who carried a lot of the blame was none other than Fred Matiangi. Raila is trying to send a message to his supporters that as of now, he might be planning on working with Fred Matiangi towards next year's general election. In short, he's just trying to say that maybe the disagreements are being worked on or they have been ironed out, and now things might be good. Because if today you find Fred Matiangi taking a photo with one William Ruto, you know it will be breaking news. So Raila is trying to send a message that things might now be good. The third message being sent out, folks, is that ODM and Jubilee Party are probably reading from the same script, or rather same page currently, because of the presence of Jubilee National Assembly Deputy Majority Leader Jimmy Agwenyi in that photo, and also Cabinet Assistant Secretary, or rather CAS, Chris Obure. Chris Obure and Jimmy Agwenyi, these are top Jubilee members. Jimmy Agwenyi has been a Jubilee leader for a very long time, and then Chris Obure was initially in ODM, and then he defected to Jubilee towards 2017 election. So currently, as I talk, these are Jubilee leaders. And now, their presence in that meeting shows that ODM and Jubilee Party are currently enjoying a warm, or rather a cordial working relationship. So these photos are not just photos, but they are meant to send a clear message. And the message is that ODM and Jubilee Party are currently on a cordial working relationship. And then finally, if you look at those photos and even the message Raila has just sent, discussed matters of national interest. Matters of national interest. This proves a lot, ladies and gentlemen, that the relationship between Raila Amolo Odinga and the president himself is good and sound. Good and sound. You know, a day in politics is like the biblical 1,000 years. I always insinuate that in this YouTube channel. Politics in Kenya can change within even a minute. But as of now, Raila is affirming and confirming to his supporters through this message and through these photos shared that the relationship between himself and the president is good and sound. Because just yesterday, Kalonzo Musyoka shared some photos of One Kenya Alliance. We saw Kalonzo, Mudavadi, Wetangula, and Gideon Moi. And in this YouTube channel yesterday, I did make it clear that the presence of Gideon Moi in that meeting, or in that Oka meeting yesterday, Gideon Moi most likely, if you look at all the variables and at what is currently happening on the political stage, Gideon Moi's presence there yesterday was sent on behalf of Raila Amolo Odinga, or on behalf of the president, to act as a link between Raila Amolo Odinga, Kalonzo, and Wetangula, and also Mudavadi. His presence there was just as a mediator, a bridge, something like that, if you consider what is currently happening on the political stage. Because we know that, as I talk, there are ongoing negotiations between ODM and Jubilee to make sure they finalize an agreement. And Raphael Tuju made it clear that after it all, they are going to come up with one presidential candidate. And then now with this meeting and this message Raila is sharing out, it just confirms that the relationship between the president and Raila Amolo Odinga is good and sound. Otherwise, folks, let me leave it there for today. If you've just bumped on this YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe, and also I request you to give this video a like. Give it a like, please. And then to our esteemed subscribers and fans and supporters in this YouTube channel, I'm very, very much humbled by your continued support. We are doing well, and I just hope and pray that we might maintain that tempo. I'm very, very much humbled. God bless you. God bless Kenya. Tamu sana. Tamu sana.